My name is Noah Stamey, and this is Exam 3 Excel section. So we're going to start with our first pivot table here. We're going to click inside of our chart, go to pivot table. That should be the correct selection. We're going to click OK to send it to a new worksheet. And now we are going to click Options under the pivot table and go to Display. Click the classic pivot table layout. We are going to take Region, drop that into the row field here. And take lead source, social versus advertising, and put that in the column. Then we're going to take total sales, drop that into the value field. I'm going to narrow these columns. And we're going to take this up here, total sales. We're going to write on these column headings. We're going to File, Print, Save. We want to save that. See, format. All right, we're going to start with our second pivot table here. So we're going to click this total sales. Hold on, I'm trying to see if I can. Not work. I want to move this bar at the top so that I can click these different sections, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. So there we go. So now we're going to go to pivot table analyze. We want to go to field settings here. We're going to click average, and it comes up as average of total sales. We're going to go ahead and change this to sales. We're going to adjust this column width. Also going to decrease. Oh, hang on. I was trying to do this for all of them because I probably should have selected them. That should be fine. We'll leave 2 decimal places. And then now that we have everything narrowed, we change it to average sales. We're going to go ahead and print. Stamy NC underscore average. Next, we are going to work on our third pivot table. So what we're going to do here is I need to hide this heating controls again. We're going to click in the table. We're going to take target market population and drop that into the fields. And we are going to start with less than 1,000. Click OK. That filters it down to the target market population is less than 1,000. I'm going to click it again. We're going to deselect that. I'm going to look at the greater than 10,000. And this does it by the greater than 10,000. So we're going to leave it on this for now. And then what we're going to do is narrow our columns. So I'm going to move this over some. So there. And we're going to go down here and rename our sheet to first. That done. Now we're going to file, print, save this PDF, C underscore. Okay, So now we're not going to start on our next. Just realized this. We're not going to start on our next pivot table just yet. We're gonna show that we can remove things. So we're gonna take the target market population from the filters here and drag it out so that it removes it. And then we're going to remove the lead source, social versus advertising out. And that removes that. You could also do it with region if we wanted to remove that, we could. Same thing with values. And so now we are going to close out of our document. And I will reopen it with the next pivot table. So we reopened our document here. We're going to create a new pivot table. So let's click inside, click here. So, pivot table, worksheet S, options, display, classic pivot table layout. Click OK. And then want to drag source. Or we want to start with reading in a row. Read source into column, total sales, value. We're going to do it 2 times. So now it displays twice, but I'll show you why we did it like that. So we next want to click into total sales. Okay, now actually to click on the values, to click move values to, and move values to rows. And then we want to click on one of these. We're going to go summarize values as average. And our next step is to go into field settings. And to change the custom name to dollar sales. Click OK. Oh, no. I clicked on the wrong one. Excuse me. I'm supposed to do on this one. I'm going to click on the. Oh, yeah. Click here, go to field settings, and change the name to dollar. It's going to change all of these. And then we want to click in the average now. We click field settings. We want to go to summarize values by. We want to make sure it's average. And then what we want to do. Okay, and that changes all of those. And this is categorized by region. So from here, we want to select all of this. We want to go to home. We want to change it to the currency formula, commas, and no decimal places. From here, we want to right align all of the labels. This. This is a cleaner look because it's all the way across. They're all right aligned. We want to go ahead and click in here. Down a bit. Advertising will still show up in the final form. That's the only reason I'm pushing it to where you can't really see it here. And then from here, we want to try a little bit. I don't think I really have room, so I might just leave this one actually. Where was that? And then we want to file, print. And we want to save as Steam. NC score two-factor pivot table showing sales. And then we need to save. All right, so we're going to start on our next pivot table, and we're going to create a new one. Go ahead and do the previous steps, that out of the way. So now we want to drag target market population into a row and do total the value. We're going to change setting to average. We're going to change the name to average total. Oh shoot. Okay, there we go. And we're going to format this to the currency, $, commas. Decrease the decimal places where there's none. 0. Right on total. Go. And we're going to save this worksheet. Average, target, market, inflation. Let me take everything else. Look at that. File. Print. PDF. NC underscore target market inflation. I name it the same thing as our worksheet. That. All right, and then we're going to start on our last pivot table here. Same process. We're going to create a new one. Okay. Options, display, classic. Okay. And that leaves us with our same loadout. I guess technically, we're going to go target market population. We're going to go that to row. We're going to go lead source social versus advertising to column. We're going to go total sales into values 2 times. And then we want to do the number of sales made into values. We also want to do the company. And so now we're going to hang on. I'm sorry. I've been sitting here playing with my face. From here we're going to click values to move values to rows. Then we want to click total amount sales. We want to go to field settings. We want to change this to total sales. Go. And then we want to click on sum of years. Summary values. Actually, let's do it by field settings. This is going to be easier to name it. I'm going to click average. We want to name it average is the company. Okay, change that. We also want to make this just sales made. Confused what it's saying. that's done. We're just going to leave it as sum of numbers. Okay, I'm going to make this just I actually made a mistake while I was doing it and I realized it. So we're going to go ahead and fix that mistake. If it'll let me here. So we want to change this to average. There we go. Average total amount sales. Average total amount sales. Okay. Here we want to change this to average. We want average number of sales made. I'm just going to go ahead and make this not all caps, so little lines. The other ones, and it doesn't look odd or out of place. Why did that not change? Okay, I can't get that one to change for some reason. I don't know. It was acting weird earlier as well. So I guess we're just going to leave those as that for now. But we want to go for the total amount sales, the total or the average total amount sales. We want to do the currency format. We want to do the okay, never mind. I'm actually doing this in the names. So I'm just gonna have to go through each. Actually, you know what? I can select them all at once. So give me a second. I'm gonna change this to currency. To commas. Sign. No decimals. Then we want to go with these. Select all these. Oh no. I made a mistake with that one, so hang on. Just give me a second. Why is it not doing what I'm trying to do? There we go. I goofed. So let me reselect these. Give me a second. This. We're going to leave it with the general number format. But we want to move the decimals. You know what? I should have done it for these two, so hang on, give me a second. Currency, comma, money, decrease. These we want general. No decimals. From here, we're going to right align these labels. We're going to narrow our columns. Probably shouldn't have done that. That works. There we go. From here, we're going to take the region and put it into the filters. So we're going to look for whichever one has the highest grand total. It's looking like it's going to be east, and I believe it is. So to leave it on east. And And then we're going to change our worksheet name so that it's named filtered for factor table. Save our PDF as C underscore filtered for factor. And with that, that is the conclusion of the pivot table part of the Excel. I will pick back up with the profitability analysis. Okay, so now we're going to pick up with the sales profitability analysis section of the Excel part. There we go. Now we're back. We're good. Okay, so on this screen, everything is given. We're going to need to calculate the effectiveness index, the sales growth, and the market share. We're going to go here, and for the gross margin, we're going to want to... Okay, so for the gross margin here, we're going to want to do the sales. We want C2 minus C probably make a difference. And it did make a difference. So I'm going to drag this across. It's the same thing. This one it does D2 minus D3. So sales minus cost of goods sold in each category. Changes accordingly. Then we're going to go down to the profit contribution. So here, what we're going to want to do is the gross margin, which is C4. We want to subtract the selling expenses from that. So we're going to drag that across. And that will change those accordingly as well. So it's the same thing with gross margin minus the direct selling expense for each category. We're going to go to total assets managed. Accounts receivable, so I want C7. I want to add the inventory to that, so we're going to go C8. To drag that across as well. Make sure that it changed it accordingly. Looks like it did. So those should be accurate numbers for that. We're going to go to the profit contribution percent of sales. And it's going to be the profit, which is 6. And it's going to be divided by the sales. So we're going to go 2 equals. Let's drag that across. As well. It did. We're going to go to the percent asset turnover. What this is sales. So C2 divided by the assets managed. So C9 cross. And then for Rome, this one is going to be the profit contribution percent of sales times the percent asset turnover. So we're going to go C10 times C11 cross. So going to be the percent. I also feel like I could probably decrease decimals, but I'm just going to leave them for now. So we have that one done. We've calculated our gross margin, profit contribution, total assets managed, profit contribution percent of sales, percent asset turnover, and our room for the contract, industrial suppliers, government, and the OEM. Now we are going to go to profit, full cost, versus contribution approach. And so for the full cost, what this is going to be is contract net profit, which is B7, it looks like, yes. And then we're going to divide that by the supplier's net profit, which is going to be C7. And that gives us our full cost approach. The net profit. And then for the contribution approach, it's going to be the profit contribution from the contract. So probably click there, yes, and then it's going to be divided by the industrial supplier's profit contribution. Gives us that answer. So let's see, explain the difference between the full cost and the contribution approach to income statement analysis. The difference is that the full cost approach, what it uses is the net profit here. And that's because the profit is acquired differently because each specific unit has its own profit, essentially, net profit. And then with the contribution approach here, so we're going to take the profit contribution, we're going to put them against each other. That's why we divided those. And that's why it gives you this answer. So it doesn't use the unit itself. It doesn't use the share cost. And that's the difference between the two. So for this one, we use the net profit, and for this one, we use the profit contribution, which still applied to the gross margin and the direct selling expense. So here, I'm going to change this to 9. That did work. I was scared that wasn't going to work. And then the answer for 1 is 1.1. Going to save. And that is the end of the Excel portion for exam 3. Thank you for your time.